Seltzer Kings.
Podcasts.
Star Wars is back on the big screen with The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Gangsters, war criminals. I'll take out every bad guy in your deck of cards.
On May 22nd, feel the Force on the biggest screen possible.
The old protect the young, and the young protect the old. This is the way.
Buckle up.
Always wear your seatbelt.
The Mandalorian and Grogu. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters May 22nd. Get tickets now.
Please, tell me you didn't help an accused murderer escape jail.
Yo, Pops, check it out. This girl ain't gonna be nobody's bitch. You better recognize.
What's that on your arm?
I've had some free time. And no, I didn't help Josh escape. Not intentionally. Turns out he's allergic to peanuts. His plan was to take advantage of my kindness.
This gotta be the first time that's worked for anybody.
Clifford, something wrong?
I just remembered I need to return Caged Heat to the video store. You folks want to hear the good news or the bad news first?
I'm gonna say the good news.
Josh's cellmate and key witness to the cookie incident ate the evidence. And, icing on the cake, blew a .21 on the breathalyzer when they booked him. No way Lamb can get a conviction, and he knows it.
Well, that sounds like great news.
But he's going to hold Veronica as long as he possibly can.
Hey. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Boys Watching Veronica Mars. We're just two boys watching every episode of Veronica Mars for the first time, giving our review, our reaction. We're your hosts. I am Joe Welke.
I am Vance Tucker.
What the fuck? Today we're talking about season 3 episode. This episode gets a Vance Tucker?
It's stuff happens.
Are you feeling the pressure of like, I haven't done a Vance Tucker episode?
No, I never feel the pressure. Never feel the pressure of that. But it's a big episode.
All right. This is season 3 episode 14 titled Mars Bars. Directed by Harry Weiner, story by Phil Klemmer and John Enbaum and Joe Volke, teleplay by Phil Klemmer and John Enbaum. The original air date was February 20th, 2007, to an audience of 2.27 million people. And before we get into the episode, links in the show notes to get on the Discord. Join our Discord. We do some more recaps of these episodes. We get some insight from fellow listeners. And just overall good times on the Discord. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/boyswatchingbuffy, where our episode on the Boys Watching Movies tier on Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1 has been released. Rave reviews. For the movie, for the podcast, just all around a win.
Speaking of epic podcasts, that's an epic podcast episode.
Yeah.
You
can do that. We also have our coverage of True Blood starting off season 2 this week. So get on that tier. If you are on just the TV tier and you just want to listen to Breaking Dawn Part 1, you can just purchase Breaking Dawn Part 1, the podcast, for $3. You don't have to become a member of that tier. But you should, because there's like almost 50 movies that we've reviewed on there. There's some sneak previews of them on the main feed if you want to check out like a little sample, like, oh, I wonder, let's see what they thought about I Know What You Did Last Summer. Maybe this will be the toe into the movie tier of the Patreon. That's a good way to go about doing that. Yeah. Anything else up top here, Vance? How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. This is not a night cast, as we may have kind of teased that it might be. Yeah. This is a mid-afternoon, early afternoon cast.
Yeah.
So I don't I've had coffee today. I don't have an energy drink. I'm just drinking some aminos, some electrolytes, preparing for a night cast of my own.
I found that I had one more can of cherry slush Alani left. And I was like, sure, fuck it.
That one just works. It's exactly as advertised, I would say.
It is a very standard. It's a leadoff hitter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just need somebody to get on base for you. He's not hitting the home runs. He's not grand slamming, but it's there, and it's a table setter, necessary thing. So cherry slush, kudos to you. Do we have any follow up from the last episode or no?
Not that I have noted. So
all right,
let's just get into these
Mars
predictions,
bars.
huh?
Yeah, what do we predict for Mars bars?
You said that Keith doesn't check in, try to help Veronica at all.
Damn.
Because he would be too busy looking into Mindy.
I mean,
partially.
Yeah.
And your alt prediction was that Keith gets arrested and put in the same cell as Veronica, and they work together.
I wish that would have happened, but no. All right, I give myself 25%.
Okay. I said we would realize that Josh is allergic to peanuts, so he can get sick and escape, which is exactly what happens.
Nailed that.
Yeah, I mean, it was just
Nailed
there.
that.
And then I said I would love if this was a secondary cast team up while Veronica remains behind bars, which
there is a secondary cast team up.
Was exactly what I thought it would be, and she doesn't remain behind bars the entire episode, but they did team up because she was behind bars.
Yeah. No, dude, that was a good one.
All right.
That's good.
That's why it's a Vance Tucker episode.
Okay. All right. That's literally, dude, I don't know how you made this a Vance Tucker episode. This show, man. I mean, I don't know what the fuck is happening at all in this show anymore. It is all over the place.
It is so much. And they sometimes do the same. Like I partly enjoy this episode for some of the stuff that it did. Like it's still like if we had to rank at the end of the season, this would probably be one of my top 3 episodes still.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, based off of what the first half of the season was, it's pretty rough to pick from some of those. But we'll get into it, but they also like seem like they recycle plots that they already have, like cheating people or like suicide stuff that happened. I'm like, but you're actually investigating a possible suicide, and there's like, is this one going to be it? Yeah, they throw everything into these.
I was gonna say, there's just so much information happening, and like it's so dense.
Mm-hmm.
Like taking notes on this, like it's a 42-minute episode. The watching experience is an hour, sometimes over an hour for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's just so dense, and you have to rewind and be like, wait, what just happened?
And that's more of us podcasting issue. If we were just watching it and not going to talk about it, you know.
Yeah.
You're just letting it go through.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're like trying to pay attention, like this is not a show that you can like have on in the background, I don't think. You can if you don't care about knowing things.
Or you can if you've seen it before and you only want to like focus in on certain scenes.
But like, dude, you miss like there's some minute details in some of these that you don't realize how important they're going to be later on. And then you're like, oh, well, I'm glad that I'm watching this with as much of an eagle eye as I can. And I'm taking notes on this because I'm like, oh, that'll play back on this and blah, blah, blah. It's just so fucking much, dude.
Yeah.
But all right, well, here we go.
Yeah, everyone's excited now.
Well, I'm sorry. It's just a lot. It's a lot. And like, it's a lot of information.
That's what makes Veronica Mars Veronica Mars.
It's so interesting. It's so interesting. The tonal shifts.
Yeah.
The lightheartedness dealing with the heaviest topics of all time. Like
the B story is the lightest B story I've ever seen in a show that has so much. Yeah.
I know the B story is so light, but then that's like the C story, I feel like, too.
Yeah.
Because this is a Keith heavy episode.
Yeah.
Keith is earning his paycheck. He's earning his Enrico, whatever his last name is.
Colantani.
As Keith Mars opening credits, because this is Keith episode.
Piz isn't getting any screen time.
Why is half of this episode filmed on a Dutch angle? Why is so much of this episode a Dutch angle?
Because it's mysterious.
Anyway, so this episode opens up with Lamb asking Veronica where Josh is. And did she know that Josh was allergic to peanuts? He was taken with an ambulance because he was having shock, and he overpowered the medic and escaped. And Veronica's like, you didn't have a deputy with him? And they are kind of like, Sax and Lamb look at each other like, but Lamb thinks that Veronica is an accomplice. She purposely did this, and she knew that Josh was allergic to peanuts, which is why she brought him peanut cookies. And then Veronica's like, I believe I have a phone call. And Lamb is like, yes, you do. And then we go.
Yeah, I mean, Veronica does not seem concerned at all.
Nope. She is snarking at Sheriff Lamb. No worry in her bones.
Yep.
So then we go to the youngest Barry child playing the piano, the one that is, I think Cliff described him as severely autistic. Josh's brother, the mom is there, and Keith's talking to the mom, and the mom wants Keith to find Josh, and Keith is like, well, if you get in touch with Josh, tell him to call me. Or you call me. Do not get in touch with the sheriff's department. You're in better hands with me than the sheriff's department. And then Keith gets a phone call from Veronica, and she's explaining that she's in jail. But while he's on the phone with Veronica, he sees that Catherine Barry, the wife of Coach Barry, she has mail from Vinnie Van Lowe. And Keith sees that, and it raises his eyebrows. And I gotta say, Vinnie Van Lowe's logo, pretty fucking tough, dude.
I believe you mean Vincent Van Lowe.
Yes, right. Vincent Van Lowe, yes. Dude, his logo with the two guns.
I don't think I locked in on it, but yeah.
It's aesthetic. But yeah, so then we have this scene. That starts off with Keith walking into the jail cell, the only jail cell at the Neptune police department, sheriff's department. And we see Veronica, she's in jail, she's doing push-ups, and she has drawn a fake tattoo on herself. And Veronica gets up and says, yo, Pops, check it out. This girl ain't gonna be nobody's bitch. You better recognize.
And she throws some punches, and half of her hair is braided.
Yes.
And that's my biggest question. Who braided her hair?
Yep.
Like, 'cause there's no one else in that cell, and you can't do that to yourself. I don't believe you can do that to yourself.
I don't know where she even got the pen to draw on herself.
But it's funny. The guy escaped, and she's like in jail.
The guy that
might have
Veronica
killed him.
may have helped, a potential murderer that Veronica may have helped escape jail. Veronica's like, hey, yo, Pops, better recognize. I was just like, what is this show?
They're just way too chill about the situation.
Yes.
Especially for it to be coming off the cliffhanger. They should still be concerned.
But Keith is like, Veronica, did you help Josh escape? And she's like, no. And he's like, all right, good enough for me. Then Cliff shows up, and he's like, well, I got good news for everybody and bad news. What do you want to hear? Keith's like, let's do the good news. Bad move, buddy. You always do bad news first, so you end on a happy note. That's my advice to everybody out there. But the good news is Josh's cellmate ate all of the evidence. He ate all the cookies. And he blew a .21 on a breathalyzer when they booked him, so he's an unreliable source. So he can't anything that he says is like inadmissible. They can't charge Veronica with anything. There's no way that Lamb could get a conviction. But the bad news is Lamb is going to hold Veronica as long as he can in that cell. And they're like, all right, that's nothing new.
I love that this drunk ate some cookies so clean that there's no crumbs, no nothing left. Like he licked that book clean.
Mm-hmm.
I think seeing the book with the hole cut out of it would add to it too.
Right? Like, what?
But this is just
the book with the cutout? Isn't that evidence?
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, so Keith is like, all right, well, where do you think I could find Josh? And Veronica's like, I think Josh panicked really quickly. I don't know. He could be in Mexico. It could be anywhere. And Cliff is like, look, everybody, I've been a lawyer for a long time. And if you ask for my professional opinion, I don't think the kid did it. And everyone just kind of turns and looks at Cliff and then turns back to having their own conversation. It's like, Cliff, do you know something that we don't know? Like, what? As a viewer, seeing Cliff say that, I have thought that Cliff was going to figure into this case a little bit more.
No,
Maybe Cliff has some knowledge.
I didn't think much of that. I just thought he said based off of like all the clients, and he's lied for clients because that's what lawyers have to do. They have to argue even if a person is guilty. So he was just like, of all the people I've been around, I don't believe he did it. So
yeah.
So
Keith is then telling Veronica, hey, I got an appointment with Cyrus Odell's old assistant. But you promised me that you didn't help this guy escape. And Veronica's like, I promise. And Keith's like, all right, that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
So then he's walking out. And as he's walking out, he sees Vinny Van Lowe at the sheriff's department turning in some old guy. And Keith is like, hey, I got a question for you. I was at Coach Barry's house and I saw that she had some, his wife had some mail that was addressed to her from you. What was up with that? And Vinny's like, oh, well, she hired me about a month ago to see if her husband was cheating. I never got any kind of like money shot of them cheating, but I did see him getting like kind of cozy with some lady in a parking lot. And she's married, so who knows what's going on about that. He's like, is it cool if I get the pictures? And Vinny's like, yeah, sure. And I was like, this is nice.
Well, Vinny plays, I have a moral code like you do. And then he starts laughing. I'm like, no, of course I'll give it to you. I almost
had you with that one.
Yeah.
But
again, they rehash the whole someone's having an affair situation.
Yeah,
again,
but, I mean,
like,
everybody's having an affair.
Everybody in the
You're
town.
You're not having
everybody in the town is having an affair. Like the dean's like, can you find out if my wife's having an affair? Is this person having an affair? Is Keith having an affair with the person that hired him to find out if another person had an affair? It's just, there has to be a different way to get to this point. Like the coach that we've barely seen, like this is the new angle.
Yeah, man.
It seems like low hanging fruit to be like, okay, there's pictures because his wife thought he was having an affair.
Yeah. But Vinny is like, oh, you're looking into like who killed the coach? And Keith is like, yeah, I am. And Vinny's like, well, I think it's the kid, Josh. He definitely did it. And Keith rolls his eyes. So then Keith goes to Dean Odell's office. He's asking the assistant about the day that the dean died. And everything was fine. Nothing out of the ordinary, except for one strange thing did happen. Mel Stoltz showed up, and that seemed to agitate good old Cyrus Odell. And Odell was on edge particularly that day because he had ran out of Xanax. And
sober joke. Can't even pronounce the thing that they say 20 times in the episode.
Xanax. And he had filed for a new prescription, but he never went to pick it up. And so Keith was like, all right, I'll put that in my notes, in my brain.
They're just now removing the dean's name off the door.
I know. It's been over.
It's been like three months at least.
No new dean yet.
Nope, school's just running itself.
Yep.
Just like Sunnydale when the mayor passes away.
Yeah.
And the mayor turns into a
giant snake.
Yeah.
And eats half of the high school students.
It's like, who's the new mayor? That one.
Yeah. Where do the kids go to high school now?
Yeah.
Somewhere else.
Yep. Yeah.
So Keith goes back to his office and he's calling a pharmacy to see who picked up the Xanax. And somebody picked it up, but we don't find out who yet because Hank Landry shows up. And he's like, hey, Keith Mars, did you bug my phone? Because I think that you may have bugged my phone. Keith's like, I didn't bug your phone. He's like, do you think your fucking daughter bugged your phone? Bugged my phone? And Keith's like, I don't think so. And Landry's like, look, I know that you're like suspecting me of being a murderer because your daughter came to me and was probing me and asking me about the movie Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which I ordered on pay-per-view. And I answered her question. And then it took me a little bit afterwards to realize, oh, she was not just like seeing what I thought about the movie. She was trying to get information out of me. And then he's like, look, your daughter's very bright. She's very precocious. She's got a lot of motivation and all that stuff. And I think that she's going to be great for this FBI internship because I don't think that she should be here slumming it with a second-rate private eye detective dad bullshit piece of shit, bald-headed, discouraged, disgraced sheriff. Keith is like, all right, I'll take that into account. And then he gives Keith a full breakdown of all of his whereabouts that night. I got to the hotel at 7:30. I watched the Clippers game at 8:30. Then me and Mindy had our activities. Then I ordered Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. And then I went to sleep. There. Don't ask me any more fucking questions. That's all the things that I did. That's all the information that I have. Are you satisfied? Because you're starting to piss me off.
He leaves out the fact that Dean O'Dell showed up to their place.
Yep, they keep leaving that fact out.
Yeah, they keep leaving that out. And no mention of creme brulee.
Nope. People keep leaving out the fact that Dean O'Dell showed up, and I know it's to cover something up.
So that it makes them look, so it doesn't make them look suspicious.
But I'm glad that you also brought that up because I was like, is this show trying to gaslight me into thinking that Dean O'Dell didn't show up?
Yeah, because later, because we see that, and then later Veronica's like, oh, I think this person was there. And we're like, no, we know who's there. We know who the voices were.
Could have been the TV. Could have been who was on the Clippers back then.
Yeah.
Blake Griffin arguing with Chris Paul.
Yeah, usually you don't hear the players full volume when you're watching a basketball game.
It's the TV, Vance. It's the TV. So anyway, Keith goes to the sheriff department to meet with Sheriff Lamb. And he tells Lamb that the dean's death wasn't a suicide. It couldn't have been a suicide. And Lamb is like, oh, you must think I'm a big fucking dumbass. And Keith is like, well, I mean, yeah, kind of. But I'm also a concerned citizen. There was, so you said in the toxicology report that there was Xanax in the dean's system when he was died when he died.
Is that a new social media way to unalive when
he was died?
There was a mass dying at the
I know people that talk like that in real life. They say unalived because they're like, I don't want to like trigger. I'm like, bro,
that doesn't make it any better. It is what it is.
Just say. I mean, it goes back to that Louis C.K. bit.
Now you lost all credibility.
Yeah, I know. Look, I know that he's a canceled person, but like the jokes in my mind still live on. But like when you say unalived, in my head I go, oh, killed. You know, you're just like creating an extra step. So just say killed. Anyway. So yeah.
So Dean O'Dell was died,
but he had Xanax in his system when he was died. But it couldn't have been his Xanax because he ran out. So he thinks that either the toxicology report is fucked up and not correct, or he was drugged. And then he reveals that Mindy O'Dell had picked up the dean's new prescription. And then Lamb is like sitting there stroking his chin. He's like, you're right. This doesn't add up. There is something going on here. Sex! go check on some stuff and get Dean Odell's wife, Mindy, in here for questioning. And Zach's like, yes, boss. Yes, boss.
Does this also where he tells him to check on the laptop at the school?
Yeah.
This is where he tells Sax to check on his computer, Dean's computer, which, why is it still at the school? Why is it not in the evidence locker? And, also the Xanax thing is so, just because you run out of prescription doesn't mean that you have 0 pills left.
Yeah. Well, also, I feel like if he took a Xanax yesterday, it could still be in his system the next day, right? Like, I don't know. Does it?
I don't know. Or he could have just had more, and his prescription it's time to refill your prescription. Isn't like the last pill just went down your throat. Now you gotta run and get the next one. Like, you get it before you run out.
Yeah.
But
Dean's popping Xans, babe.
Yeah, he's popping Xan. He's drinking. Smoking cigars, popcorn.
13-hour flight, half a Xan, or whatever Drake said in that one song. So then Keith goes over to the jail and he sees Veronica. And he's like, Veronica, did you bug Hank Landry's phone? And she's like, no. Keith's like, all right.
Yeah.
And then Veronica's like, oh, Landry must have realized that when I was asking him about Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, that gave it away. And then Keith goes, yeah, he did. He did realize that. But like, really? You promised me that you didn't bug his phone? And she's like, I promise. And he's like, all right, cool.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang gets so much airtime in these last 2 episodes. Like, they bring it up almost every other scene.
Yeah. It's a good movie. Very fun. I watched it once, and then I was kind of like, yeah, that was fun.
I watched it. I'm sure I've seen it twice. I don't know if I liked it as much the second time, but I know it's a classic.
I mean, it was fine. It didn't leave like a lasting impact on my life.
People love that movie, though.
Yeah, it's a good movie. People love Man of Steel, too, and that movie's mid as fuck.
Not even a comparable, like, movie. That's not even comparable. You're like, people love Big Lebowski, but whatever. Like you Man of Steel. What are you talking about? People like Doctor Strange too. What can I say? Multiverse of Madness, not for me, but some people like it.
I thought Multiverse of Madness was pretty good. You know, it's a good comparable movie to Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. The Nice Guys.
You're comparing a movie by the same director. Yeah.
Love The Nice Guys. Ryan Gosling, Russell Crowe. Very funny. I didn't realize how funny Ryan Gosling was until that movie. And I was like, oh man, he nailed that. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You don't really like The Nice Guys. You didn't think it was that great.
It didn't have a lasting impression. But again, a lot of people loved it. I don't know. I would have to see it again. Maybe if I watched it again. I saw it when it first came out.
Yeah.
You know, you can make us watch these movies after we're done. Twilight.
I've already got a great selection for the next coming months, everybody.
No, you do not.
The boys watching movies. Vance cursed us with the Twilight Saga, so I'm going to curse us with another saga.
I didn't. I gifted us the Twilight Saga. What are you talking about?
I'm going to curse you and I, Vance, to watching another saga. Listeners,
I hope you dislike these movies so much.
Oh, I'm going to. But it'll be fun to talk about. You think we're in this to watch movies we like?
That's what I signed on. To watch watch shows I'd never seen before.
I think that our podcast motto is we like the show. Mm-hmm. But the movies one is we don't like the movies.
We like the movies.
We like the movies.
Simply Irresistible is a classic.
Oh my God, Mr. Fix-It.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, we like some of the movies.
Yeah.
Many of the movies are hilariously bad, though. You gotta admit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're picking movies of the time, you know?
Yep. We are of the era. And I have a logical next step for us.
That's the problem.
For the movies tier.
You don't have to be logical in this podcast game.
You're right.
I think
we just got to start taking ivermectin. and just
Oh my God, you are on one. Louis C.K., ivermectin, Drake references. Good Lord, Joe. What is your algorithm?
The afternoon cast is fucking wilder than the night cast, baby.
Right,
I just got out of therapy.
Let's get back. You might need to double up today. Let's get back to this show that already has yet to begin to get as wild as it's going to get.
It has yet to begin to begun. It hasn't begun to begin. So Keith is walking out of the sheriff's department. He sees Logan walking his way in. And Keith is like, Logan? And he's like, Mr. Mars? And then Keith is like, last door on the right. And Logan's like, all right, cool.
He's like, I know. Logan's like, I know how this place works.
You think I haven't been in that cell at least 5 times? So he's coming to visit Veronica, and Veronica's happy to see Logan. And Logan's like, we're adults. We can be civil. And Veronica asks Logan to give Mac her wireless card or something.
Yeah.
She needs it for something. Some kind of computer part, I guess.
I think this might be cell phone-ish issue
at
the time.
When Logan gives it to her, I'm like, I've never seen one of those in my life.
I like that Veronica goes, I was on my way to give this to Mac when I got arrested. I was like, no, you weren't. You were sitting in class that was just beginning.
Yeah.
But sure.
But Logan's like, all right, I'll do that. And then before he leaves, he takes a picture on his fucking Nokia phone of Veronica in jail. And it seems like they're on good terms now.
Yeah, all it took was for them not to have spoken.
Yep.
Yeah.
It needed that look from the elevator from Logan with the little girl that he was hanging out with last episode.
I like that he goes, we're adults now. I was like, what do you mean you're adults now? What changed in the day that's happened? But I do like Logan's jacket look here. I think it looks better.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He does. So Lamb has Mindy in for questioning. And he's like, hey, what do you know about Kiss Kiss Bang Bang?
Right? Like, oh my God. We get it. People like this movie. We'll watch it. All right? We'll watch it.
And she's like, I don't know. I don't really know much of anything. I know it's a movie. And he's like, well, that's crazy because it was ordered in your hotel room. And he's questioning her. And she says that she's not lying to Lamb. And Lamb is like, did you sign for Cyrus O'Dell's prescription? And she says, yes. And she said, did you see him after that? And then there's a pause. And she's like, no. And Lamb goes, look, dude, if you're lying to me, this is perjury. You know anything about perjury? And Mindy's like, yeah, this isn't perjury, though. If I can lie to you.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah. Lamb just not good at the law.
Yeah. So Lamb is like, well, I found the bottle of Xanax and there was some missing pills.
He didn't find a bottle. He says, if we find a bottle.
If I found the bottle of Xanax, would there be some missing pills?
The afternoon is not your time. Jeez.
If he found the bottle, would any pills be missing? And she's like, yeah, you'd find several missing pills. And he's like, and why is that? And she goes, well, because I took them because my husband committed suicide and it's making me quite anxious. And he's like, all right.
Now, is it illegal to take other people's prescription pills?
I believe it is, yes.
Okay, but that's when he stops using any legal ramifications.
Couldn't care less about that.
Yeah.
Could not care less.
The look on his face like, damn it, she got me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it is illegal to take other people's pills.
I don't know what the charge would be, but yeah.
But is it like invitation rules where Odell is dead, so they don't belong to anybody? so it's free use.
Free use, yes.
Anyway, so then we have Sax with Weevil, and they're in the warehouse where Indiana Jones's Ark of the Covenant is stored to find Cyrus O'Dell's old computer. It's just
Seriously, what is this basement at this school?
It's just the longest storage facility filled with computers.
And why is it there? Why did the cops not have it?
I don't even know how you find this and know that it's Odell's. Like, it's deep in this fucking place.
And why is Weevil in charge of this as maintenance?
Dude, I have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
But, like, it's so big. And Weevil's like, here you go, Sax, have at it. Mm-hmm. And so that's that scene. So then Logan goes to Max, gives her the wireless card or whatever, and Parker's there, and the fat guy is there. I forget what his name is. Bronson, I
believe it is. Yeah, I listed him as Fats or Fat Guy. PHAT. PHAT. People for humane animal treatment. Fat. PHAT. Bronson Pope. That's his name. Yeah. What a name.
Yeah. So now they're all hanging out and they're like, well, we need somebody. We need a fourth person. But who are we going to get? And then the whole room turns toward Logan. They're like, Logan, you want to maybe be a part of something? You want to do us a favor? And he's like, depends on what it entails.
Now, before we go further with this story, do you think this would have been better with Veronica based off of what we find out what they had to do?
I think they would have maybe gotten first place if it was with Veronica.
Yeah, probably.
But in terms of the group dynamic, I don't think it would have been better.
No. I think I would have also liked to see Piz in this group because of his hatred of Parker.
Oh my God, yes. 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 But no, I think that they would have won if Veronica was a part of this group, which is probably what they were thinking. But now that Logan's a part of the group, it's like, okay, whatever. So then we have Wallace Fennell finally in the show, and he's visiting Veronica in jail. And he tells Veronica, I don't know about this Josh guy, but I do know that Mason hasn't been to practice and no one's seen him or heard from him for the last, couple days. So he's been MIA. So that's a little suspicious. And Veronica's like, okay. So then Cliff comes in and he's like, who wants to be let out of jail? And Veronica goes, me. And Sheriff Lamb lets her out of jail because he can't hold her for any longer. And then Lamb turns to Wallace Fennell and he goes, hey, you look familiar. Do I know you? And then I wrote in all caps that Wallace brings up the go see the wizard and ask him for some guts line that Lamb delivered to him on the very first episode. And I was like, oh my God.
I know you from somewhere.
Yeah, he told me to go see the wizard and ask him for some guts.
Well, did you?
Yeah, he said to let you know you're the only sheriff in America who he considers a true friend of Dorothy.
And this floors Lamb. It floors Veronica. Veronica was like, how dare you say something like this to the sheriff? I can't even believe Wallace has this clapback. And Lamb is standing there like, oh my gosh. In the moment, I was like, that is a good clapback. And then I thought about it. I'm like, I don't actually know what it means.
Yeah, dude, that's what I was saying. Like, I saw how confused Lamb looked. Yeah. My note says, Lamb looks confused, period. I am too, period.
It's like Wallace tried to be a badass and said something that he thought would be badass. But then when you think about the words, you go, wait, is being a friend of Dorothy a bad thing?
Well, dude, I started thinking, I was like, so is Dorothy, like, does she have like a bunch of cop friends? Is Dorothy racist? Like, what is he trying to say there?
Yeah,
I was
have
really
no
hoping
idea.
that you had an explanation because I was like, I don't get it. Maybe I'm too stupid for this.
It seemed like he wanted to make him. It seems like it was almost like calling him like gay or effeminate somehow, but it's like not. I don't know. Someone on Discord will let us know. But yeah,
the only thing that I can guess is that Dorothy told the character that didn't have any brains that he was she was a true friend of his or something.
Yeah, but in Wizard of Oz, she goes, and Scarecrow, I'll miss you most of all. That's about it. But that doesn't really, I don't know.
I mean,
Arrested Development has some great Dorothy Wizard of Oz jokes when Tobias ends up going to prison.
Yeah. But yeah, this did not hit.
I'm happy that they brought it back up. I was surprised this is the first time that Lamb has seen Wallace.
Yeah.
Have they? They don't. He doesn't share scenes with anybody.
Yeah.
Like Logan's like, Wallace was like, "Hey, Logan, last time I saw you, you were smashing the headlights of Veronica's car."
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's episode 1. We're like midway through season 2, and you haven't interacted with."
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I was amazed when they brought back the wizard thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they brought it back.
Not a good line. Not a good clapback. Number one, it's too long.
It's too long. Yeah.
It's way too long.
This whole bit that we're talking about, it's too long.
Yeah. You know what? Fair enough.
But even still, yeah, it's
Discord. What is Wallace trying to say here?
This is why this is a Vance Tucker episode, though, because they brought back. This is the Who's Your Daddy of Wallace's world.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, in that episode, I will say episode 1 did establish that Wallace has always wanted to be a mechanical engineer, though.
Yes, it did.
We do know that. They were laying the groundwork foundation for Wallace's entire character to pay off in season 3.
I asked the wizard for a mechanical engineering degree. You could insert that and have the same reaction shot that would make the exact same amount of sense.
I mean, in real life, Sheriff Lamb would have went, "What?" Like after Wallace was like, "Yeah, she said that you're a true friend of Dorothy." Lamb would have been like, "What? What are you talking about? Get out of here."
Yeah.
Anyway, so Cliff drops Veronica off at home, and before she can get home and walk up the stairs, Josh grabs Veronica.
And before Cliff can even pull away.
Yeah. Like Cliff doesn't wait for Veronica to get in now.
I was like, he has to be in on this, right? Like Cliff the car is pulling away as she's accosted by a guy with his hood up.
Yep.
I'm sorry, if you're dropping off a girl, you wait for her to walk into the door. Like, at least, I don't know. That was crazy.
In Neptune, especially.
Yeah.
Cliff isn't going to walk Veronica to the door and hang out with Keith for a little bit?
No.
All right.
But I mean, you got to
see the wizard or something.
But you got to see a guy walking towards her.
Nah. But Josh is like, "Don't scream, don't yell. It's me, Josh. Here, come here." And he walks her to his car, and he pops the trunk, and it is revealed that he has kidnapped Mason, has him duct taped and tied up in his trunk, and Josh pulls out a gun, and he's like, "I'm telling you, Mason killed my dad. This fucking piece of shit, he did it." And Veronica's like, whoa. Okay. Give me the gun. Josh, give me the gun. You don't want... And then Josh just gives her the gun. And she looks at the gun. She goes, "Josh, this is a 22. Your dad was shot with a 45. If this is Mason's gun, Mason couldn't have shot your dad. So you just kidnapped this guy, probably beat on him a little bit, shoved him in a trunk, and he's innocent. And he didn't do it." And Josh is like, "No, but I swear, I still think he did it." And Brian's like, "He didn't do it. Let this guy go." And so Josh is like, "All right, fine. Fucking sucks." But then Josh gets up in Mason's face and he's like, "Why are you lying about seeing me with my dad on the PCH? You're lying about that. I wasn't there." And Veronica's like, "Dude, let this go. You need to turn yourself in before this gets any worse." And Josh is like, "No, I can't do that. I need you to help me get out of the country. I know that you make fake IDs for people. I need you to do that. And I have a coin collection that I'm going to sell off, and it's going to help me live in this other country. I need all this." And Veronica's like, "All right, fine. I'll do it." And so Josh walks away. Veronica unties Mason, lets him go. And Veronica told Josh, like, "Hey, give me a call tomorrow. I want to new cell phone or whatever. And then Mason's like, dude, I'm not lying about what I saw. I saw fucking Josh at the thing. And Veronica's like, well, he's saying that you didn't. And Mason's like, yeah, I know. I was just in this fucking guy's trunk or the trunk of my own car. Like, what? And I was watching this scene and I was just like, Veronica, why are you glazing Josh so fucking hard? This guy just kidnapped a dude and you're like, yeah, I'll help you get out of the country, as if Mason can't hear this. Mason's going straight to the sheriff's department to tell them all about all this.
The thing that also got me is that she goes real hard at Mason afterwards too. She's like, yeah, but you lied about having a gun, didn't you? I was like, I was just tied up into my trunk of the car and he had my gun, which you just verified wasn't the murder weapon. Well, yes. He still goes hard at Mason and I think the only reason they have her go hard at Mason is so that we, the audience, are still like, did Mason still do it? Maybe. But character-wise, I'm like, she should be more freaked out by the situation that she just was in, that this guy used her for cookies to escape. She's not mad at him for that. And then he's got a guy tied up about to shoot him with his own gun. Like, and the craziest thing for me also that I thought about afterwards, if I'm Josh, I'm taking the car and driving that to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Like
he just walks off.
Yeah.
Like, Mason, where are you going, dude?
Mason, get in the car and follow him.
I was like, why is anybody acting the way they're acting right now? Like, I just didn't understand.
There's a scene coming up that is even more just like tonally out of left field.
Yeah, I was so confused, and I was like, Mason's definitely going to go to the cops and tell him he was like.
He did hear everything.
He's hearing everything they're saying. Like, what the fuck is this?
I would love to see Mason just follow him for the day and see what he does. Does he do the scavenger hunt? Does he?
He's like, I gotta get back to shooting some hoops. I gotta re-earn my starting job or whatever. But like, I don't have time to go to the cops about my kidnapping. And dude, it's not even just the kidnapping. Like, Josh is like in Mason's face, like screaming, like, why are you fucking lying about this? Like, that is concerning.
Also concerning that he brings this up to Veronica, the only person he trusts, not his lawyer who just drove away, not Keith, who's been hired by the family. Yeah.
Well, Veronica is a subset of Keith, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
But scene was wild, man.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very wild. But then we have Logan, Mac, and Parker and Bronson. They're doing the Valentine's Day scavenger hunt.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Some lighthearted good times here.
A little whiplash of emotions there. Who killed my dad?
But now it's time for a Valentine's. This also, is it just me or does this scavenger hunt seem like it's a multi-day thing?
It was multi-day. It was definitely. It went into the next day.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is like a 2-day affair. Like, this is crazy.
Veronica would never be a part of this.
No. Well, she would solve it in 6 minutes, and Tim Foyle would have been there. Like, how did you do it?
I Googled all the answers.
Yeah. But so then we have Veronica's at home, and Keith. Because this is at night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Keith is like, honey, why is there a pistol in the freezer?
This scene, dude.
And she goes, well, when I got dropped off by Cliff, I got a visit from Josh.
No. Before she does any of that, she does bits.
Yeah,
3 bits. Yeah. There's a guy I want to put on ice because I want to commit murder in a 28th degree. And Keith literally goes, stop. like, how is she not taking this seriously? I know this is her thing, but like her dad just saw her in jail and now there's a gun in the freezer. I don't know why it's in the freezer also.
Yeah, she wants got somebody that she wants to put on ice.
Well, that's why they put the rat when that from last season.
Oh yeah.
They just store everything in the freezer for some reason.
I guess.
All right.
But then after her bits, Veronica's like, well, Josh paid me a visit and he swears that he didn't kill his dad. That's Mason's gun. And Keith goes, yeah, but it's a 22. Dad was shot with a 45. And Veronica's like, exactly. So if Josh is guilty, why is he going after Mason? Keith is like, well, I found out some stuff. I found out that Miss Barry thought that Coach Barry was having an affair. And Keith ID'd the lady that Coach Barry was meeting with. And her husband is a captain in the Navy or something. And he's got a 45. So I think that maybe that lady's husband found out about the affair and killed Coach Barry. So I'm going to look into that. And then Keith is like, but anyway, like, what's up with this Josh thing? Like, what are you doing with this guy? What happened with him? And Veronica's like, oh, well, I told him that he should turn himself in. And I called the sheriff's department. And then he asked me to help him sell his coin collection so he could leave the country. And Keith is like, Veronica, tell me that you're not doing this. And Veronica's like, I'm using it as a ploy to maybe like double cross him and get more evidence or what, turn him in or whatever.
To turn him in. Yeah, setting a trap for him to turn himself in.
And Keith is like, all right, that's my girl. You're a smart cookie, honey.
Yeah, you never smuggled a baby and a billionaire's son to Mexico, so why would you do this?
Yep.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
You tell yourself no one wants your college-era band tees. But on Depop, people are searching for exactly what you've got. You once paid a small fortune for them at merch stands. Now, a teenager who calls them vintage will offer that same small fortune back. Sell them easily on Depop. Just snap a few photos and we'll take care of the rest. Who knew your questionable music taste would be a money-making machine? Your style can make you cash. Start selling on Depop, where taste recognizes taste.
So anyway, we got Mac and Logan and crew in the library, and they were doing some Indian Kama Sutra stuff because that's one of the clues, and they have to take pictures of it. And
doing fully clothed Kama Sutra poses.
Yes, they have to do all these poses, take pictures of them, and then send them into the guy that's running the scavenger hunt at the radio station. And he gets the pictures, and he goes,
I really thought this guy was up to no good because he's sitting in a dark room getting these pictures. Like, those are great. These are great. Good. And I'm like, yo, why is he not like in the computer lab or in a different room with other people? Why is it just this one guy getting these pictures and giggling to himself?
Right? Him looking at those pictures and giggling to himself. I was like, what's going on here? Is this some kind of nefarious plot?
Yeah, any other show, I'd be like, maybe this is just harmless. This show, I'm like, how is he going to cut their heads off of them, put their faces on other bodies? Like, what?
How is he going to use these to blackmail them or something?
Yeah.
So then we have Veronica. She's at home alone. She turns on the TV. She's watching the Clippers game comes on. And then there's an announcement. And it goes, our regularly scheduled programming can be seen in 1 hour after its usual time or whatever. And then she goes, oh, shit. She has a light bulb moment, realization. Then we go back to the scavenger hunt. Logan's buying some condoms, and Mac takes a picture, and all of them are buying condoms. They take pictures. They send them to the
creep.
Send them to the guy. Make balloon animals out of the condoms, and the guy's like, yes, this is exactly what I need.
Yeah, and it seems like he's not getting anybody else's pictures. Just like mix some other people's pictures into that too. So it doesn't seem like it's just, I don't know. It's weird.
I mean, his reaction, I thought they just replayed the first reaction because it was the same thing.
Why did we need his reaction to this?
I have no idea.
I know there's a scavenger hunt. I know that's why they're taking pictures. I don't need the real-time reaction to the guy getting the photos uploaded.
Yeah, I don't get it. So then we have Veronica. She's doing some research. Keith comes home and Veronica is like, hey, I found out something. You know, Landry said that he was watching the Clippers game, but I just turned on the Clippers game and it just dawned on me that it would have been pushed back an hour. So the timeline of all of our stuff doesn't match up. Timeline of when he was watching all this shit doesn't match up. The ear witness was watching Space Ghost at 3:30 instead of 2:30. That's why none of this is making sense. So then he would have heard the shot at 3:30 in the morning. So all these timelines don't make sense, and the valet timeline doesn't make sense either.
It would have been after Mindy returned her car.
Yeah.
And you know how I was saying how like they keep like rehashing some of the plots? This wasn't even something that I was referencing, but now that I think about it, the first season had so much timeline stuff about a car being ticketed or driving under their surveillance camera for the Lily murder, where it was like, wait, was Lily driving home at this time? But it's this time? Like they're just doing this in a different way. You know, they're just like doing a valet car thing with confusing times versus the.
Well, I don't know how the valet timeline. I don't know how the valet timeline.
What are you confused about?
Because Keith is asking separate people about the valet stuff. So
well, he knows that the car got returned before 3:30, but if he got shot at 3:30, then Mindy would have returned the car and would not have been there to shoot. The car was gone at the time. If the car was gone between like 3 and 2. 2 and 3.
The thing is, like, the Clippers game is on a different channel than Space Ghost for certain.
I don't think
so. It wouldn't have pushed back that guy's hearing.
No, you got to buy that. I don't know if it's on a different. Whatever Veronica's saying about the time delay is whatever.
I just don't think that this. I don't think this plot point makes sense.
Well, it makes sense that the guy was shot at 3:30 and the car would have been back, so Mindy wouldn't have been there.
Yeah,
I think you're going too far into because she's not even watching the Clippers game or something. Because Keith comes in and says, "Oh, why are you not watching the ladies that are doing what I think like Sex in the City
or whatever?"
Yeah. So, yeah.
I don't know, man.
I think
this confused me. Like when Veronica brought up the Space Ghost thing, I was like, "That's on a different channel." So, I don't know.
That's too much to think of. That's you're muddling it up too much by that.
I think the show's muddling it up.
No.
So Mac and crew, they're at the beach now. They got to go on top of a lifeguard station to get the final clue, and they see the clue is in the ocean. And
they're at the beach, Joe. They're using the beach.
Yeah, that is true. They are. I was bitching about that.
Mm-hmm.
But they're at the beach. Parker's apparently the only person that knows how to swim. Super cold water, and Logan's like, "Well, we should go get a wetsuit." Like, I mean, I know how to swim, but like that water's gonna be cold. And Parker's like, "You're a fucking pussy, Logan. I thought that you were supposed to be some hot shot surfer dude, and you're not going to get in? You're not going to get in? I'm going to get in." And Logan's like, "All right, let's all take off all of our clothes and me and you go in the ocean."
I will say that is pretty far out there.
Yes,
where they're swimming.
It is.
The Pacific Ocean is much colder than the Atlantic Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And that is part of my question with them going surfing in the winter, also during winter break, that timeline, because you can do it, but it's cold, man. And at least they did have wetsuits on then. But yeah, I don't know. And them swimming out there, swimming back, they are gonna in rough condition.
Yeah.
And that's a tough swim too. That's a tough swim against those waves.
I mean, it's February. This is supposed to be Valentine's Day. Like, it does get kind of chilly out here.
So that's been my whole point with the timeline of him going skiing and surfing, hooking up with the surf chick, and then also going to Aspen to ski during their breakup.
I mean, just by what they're wearing for this, like Logan's got a long sleeve shirt on and a jacket and jeans and boots and stuff. Like, it's not like, I know that there's like,
she says she's from Denver. She does
February.
not know. He's like, so you've never been in the ocean.
Yeah. I mean, this year it was pretty hot in February, but like usually it's pretty chilly.
Yeah. I do want to say that I like Logan with this group. It's nice to see, because I had said that I want to see the idyllic version of Neptune. And this seems like a fun, this is what you could do if you're just hanging out, having fun with friends.
Yeah, the guy that organized the bum fights is hanging out with the girl that got sexually assaulted and the girl that got her boyfriend killed people and stole all of her clothes from the hotel room and left her there in a heap.
Does Mac like Logan?
I don't think they've had any real scenes together. I think this is the first time they ever hung out.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know if they've ever hung out.
And they barely had scenes together here. They're like in the same room.
Yeah, they left, and then Mac was smooching on Bronson Pope. But then, they get the clue. They come back, and Logan's like, "Here, take my jacket, Parker." And she's like, "Oh, it's so warm." And I was like, "Really? This already?"
The show, man. She is a blonde. What can he do?
It does track. She's going to end up dead by the end of the season.
Oh, my God.
She's with Logan, man.
You know what? Maybe.
So anyway, Keith and Veronica, they show up to the sheriff's department, and they're like, "Lamb, we've got some more information. There was an hour shift. Some of the timelines don't match up." And Sax comes around the corner, and he's like, "Well, we found fingerprints on the dean's keyboard, and it's Steve Bitondo. That's who the prints belong to."
And I was like, "Who is Steve Bitondo?" That was my first thought when he said the name. No, he said Steve Bitondo, and they started talking about it. I was like, I'm just going to wait to find out who Steve Bitondo is. I guess we've seen him before, but that name meant nothing to me. Absolutely nothing.
I thought that he said like they belong to D Bitondo, but I thought he was using like an initial. I was like, oh, that must be the son of Mindy. But I didn't hear Steve, but I knew who Steve was as soon as I saw it. I was like, oh.
I didn't know. When they said the name, I was like, no idea. But when I saw him, I was like, when they show up, I'll know who it is, but I had no idea about the name.
So then we have Logan and crew. They return to school. They got the final clue, and they are like, yeah, we won. And they're like, you got third place. Here's a $50 gift card to the Neptune Grand Restaurant. And Logan gives it to Bronson Pope. He's like, I don't need this. I live there. And I may be fucking the front desk girl. Who knows?
You actually do need this because you seem to order from there a ton.
Yeah. But Bronson Pope and Mac, they walk off, and Logan's there with Parker, and he's like, hey, I had a really good time with you. And she's like, yeah, I had a really good time with you. It was good to get to know you. And Logan's like, yeah, maybe we should do it again sometime. She's like, yeah, maybe. Hopefully I'll see you around. She walks off, and Logan gives her the eyes. Like, oh, there might be something there.
And then we get the weirdest camera move that pans away from Logan walking away. Parker goes the opposite direction. And then we pan across, and standing next by a pillar is Bronson.
Yes.
Like he's overhearing.
Just on the other side of the pillar.
Overhearing. And I thought he was going to say to Mac, hey, I think those two might have something brewing, like they're a budding romance. But no, instead he does oh man, I got an hour to kill. And by the time I walk back to my dorm and then go to my class, I won't have time to do anything. And,
Mac is like, you want to come to my place? You want to come to my place? You can crash at my place.
Yeah, we can just hang out. Yeah.
You want to come back to my dorm?
And not even a nitpick. I just want to bring this up. She lives with Parker, right?
Yep. I was just about to say that.
Is Parker not about to go shower after and change her clothes after, swimming in the ocean?
I mean, if she is, she's about to witness some stuff.
Yeah.
Because they go back to the dorm, and Bronson Pope and Mac fuck.
According to Mac, they bang.
Yep. When I said crash, I meant bang. I get my onomatopoeias mixed up, Bronson Pope, and he's like, yeah. But Mac is very smitten, and so is Bronson Pope.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cute.
And Mac says, thank you.
Yeah. So Steve Batondo, he's at the sheriff's department. He's in there for questioning. Sheriff Lamb is being real rough with him. He shoves him down onto the chair. And he's like, what do you know about why are your fingerprints all over the Cyrus Odell's keyboard? And Steve is like, that bitch, Mindy, she's setting me up. And I'm like, how could she have done that?
But then you also have to ask the question, how did his fingerprints get on that keyboard in general?
Exactly. That's why I was like, how could she have possibly set you up? Did she like take his keyboard and like drag your fingers across that shit? Like what happened?
Yeah. And my biggest thing here was like what was written was based off of Veronica's paper.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way this guy knows Veronica's paper.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I don't believe it's him. But
so
he looks rough.
Steve
He looks
lawyers
rough.
up.
He looks very methed out. He looked even
Oh,
more gone than before.
So he asks for a lawyer. Cliff shows up. Lamb wants to ask Steve some more questions, and it turns out that Steve was picked up outside of Sheriff Lamb's jurisdiction, so any information that Lamb gets is inadmissible, and Lamb is like, foiled again.
Lamb's having a rough day, to say the least.
Yeah.
And Cliff's a pretty good lawyer.
Yeah, he's the finest lawyer, the finest free lawyer that money can get, or whatever he says. So then Keith goes over to the, there's too many characters. The lady that her husband's a captain in the Navy with the 45 that was potentially having an affair with Coach Barry. And he goes up to her and he's like, hey, I'm here to ask about Coach Barry. He was killed. And his wife suspected that you were having an affair. And this lady is like, oh, well, Coach Barry was a patient of mine. I'm a neurologist. He had this really intense disease. I didn't write down the name of it.
No, but I didn't either. He has a terminal disease, a lot of suffering.
He was going to die. It was going to be painful and suffering and awful. So whoever killed him spared him a whole lot of suffering. And I was just meeting with him, and he was not in good shape. And Keith was like, huh, okay. So speaking of recycling the things, this is the weed lady all over again as well.
My favorite thing about this scene is Keith running across the street.
Yeah.
And then Keith's look on Keith's face after he finds out that she's a neurologist and it wasn't an affair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good private eye.
I mean, they're gathering information.
Yep. So then Veronica, she comes home, sees Keith. She says something like, oh, I'm glad that you didn't get shot by the guy with the 45 or whatever. I'm glad that every day I come home and my dad's alive still.
I thought this was way too casual based off of last week's episode where she got all teary-eyed while she was making prison escape peanut butter cookies that she was afraid. She's like, don't leave me. Don't get killed. Don't get murdered. Don't get deaded. Like,
don't become dead.
Yeah. So she was very emotional in that scene, I remember. And now she's here. She's like, oh, glad you didn't get shot by the captain. It's 45. And she's throwing the keys casually down. I'm like, wait, which one is it? Yeah. Are you like worried about him or not worried about him?
But Keith found out some more information that he's going to relay to Veronica. Found out that Coach Barry's wife took out an additional life insurance policy on him after she saw the pictures that she thought were affair pictures. And it also has a double indemnity clause where if his death is ruled an accident, it pays out double. So they would be looking to gain $5 million.
I think it's if it's a murder or something. I don't know what it was. I didn't lock in, but I always think these insurance things are crazy.
Right.
And here's the thing, when they brought up this insurance thing, there would be insurance people investigating this death. Like it wouldn't just be the police and Veronica and them. It would be the insurance company being like, how do we not pay this lady $5 million? This looks very suspicious. And we never interact with any of those people. because there would definitely be some insurance investigator.
So Keith is then thinking like, well, maybe the wife had something to do with the Coach Barry's death, but they were broke because they had to take out a second mortgage to pay for their son's schooling or whatever.
Yeah. It's the same reason. Oh my God, recycling. It's the same reason Leo stole the tapes.
Yeah.
Because he had like an autistic cousin, niece, or sister, and he needed to get him in school. Like they're really just throwing. This is all recycled material.
But it turns out the coach wasn't having an affair. He had a disease that he was dying from, and it was going to be horrible, and may have done the family a favor by dying. And they couldn't have hired a hitman because they were broke. And then Veronica is just like,
they don't specifically have 10 grand lying around, 10 grand, the same amount that those rare coins are worth. Rare coins. So,
but while Keith is relaying all this information to Veronica, she's looking off in the distance. She is very distracted. She's like putting some stuff together and being like,
no, it's a 10 grand thing that she puts together. Because he's like, they couldn't hire a private, because she's like, oh, do you think she would have hired someone to kill her husband to get the money? And he's like, no, like she wouldn't have 10 grand lying around. And then she remembers, oh, Josh wanted 10 grand from the rare coins. And this is the moment where she decides, I'm not going to share information with Keith. Because they've been working together this whole episode, sharing information, not really lying to each other, not really keeping stuff away. And then right here, she decides, I'm not going to tell him about this. Why? You're not in love with Josh. You don't even know if Josh is innocent or not. Why is she keeping this close to the vest?
I mean, based on everything that we've seen, I would never assume that Josh is innocent. That guy is...
No, that's what I'm saying. Why don't she just say, hey, Josh, why does she give her dad, who just gave her this bombshell information about insurance, why doesn't she tell him about the Josh and the 10 grand?
Yeah. So then Keith goes to the Barry household. Veronica gets a phone call from Josh. She made him a fake ID, drops him off at the bank or whatever, and she's there like, well, if the coins are gone, it means the mom may have killed the dad or whatever, but hopefully that they're not gone or whatever. The mom thinks that Keith is there, suspecting her of hiring her son to kill the dad. Then Mama Barry, she goes and she's like, stay right here, Keith. I'm going to go get something. And then she's getting a gun. And then Josh gets his little deposit box with all of the coins in it. Mom comes back out with the gun. She's been like lurking around the hallways, doing like the shifty walk with the gun.
Yeah.
She finds out that Keith is gone. He's not there anymore. And then she's walking through the hallways, even more suspicious. And then Keith grabs her, disarms her, takes the gun away from her, apprehends her. Josh has all the coins, and there's also a CD in there for him too. And
a CD, Keith DVD, maybe. I don't know.
Yes, yeah. So Keith is there, and he's like, now, why, oh, why, Mama Barry, did you have this gun? She was like, I wasn't going to shoot you. I wasn't planning on shooting you. I just got the gun to show you because I hid the gun because Josh had it, and I thought that hiding it would help Josh. And if we didn't do that, it would make Josh look even more guilty. And I wanted you to have the gun to test it to prove that he didn't shoot it and all that stuff.
This is a confusing one, because they also bring up, why did they hire? If they were planning to do this for the insurance money, why would they come to Keith to hire him to find out what happened?
Mm-hmm.
I guess they wanted. Did she want Keith to prove that it was? I don't know. I guess they wanted him to prove that it was someone else, so it wasn't Josh. But she did not want to turn in the gun. Why wouldn't she turn in the gun earlier if she thought that would prove that his innocence? She hid it because it would prove because she thought it would prove him guilty.
It made Josh look guilty.
Yeah, but now she's thinking, take it because I don't believe Josh is guilty now. Now that he's escaped from prison and is on the run, now I don't think that he's guilty.
Well, she didn't know about the testing that they could do on guns to see when they were.
Well, no,
last
she
fired
did
or
know.
whatever.
She did say. She said, "I know they can test these things. I want to give it to you."
She found out after she took the gun and was hiding it.
But why
and
would
that's why she gave it to?
But why
Keith
would she?
Now?
But why would you hide it if you didn't think they could test guns?
Dude.
They just wanted us to be afraid that she was the murderer during the scene.
I don't know why she couldn't have just told Keith this.
Because it wouldn't have been dramatic. It wouldn't have been like, who's coming around the corner?
Yeah.
But now it makes less sense for her to be like, I just wanted to give you this. You could have just taken this to the police station yourself. Why does Keith have to do this?
I don't know. But Josh comes back to Veronica's car. He's got all the coins, and he's like, I also have this DVD. So Keith goes to the sheriff's department, turns in the gun. Then he gets a call, or Lamb gets a call. He's rushing out of the sheriff's department because somebody's breaking into the Odell household. And Keith is like, I bet it's fucking Steve Batondo. And they're like, yeah, me too. And Keith's like, you need backup? And they're like, no, dude, you're not a cop. Stop.
And Lamb's like, I dealt with this guy before. He's pretty wily. You know, I knocked him over the head with the back of my gun and he dropped the turkey. So you got to be prepared.
So Lamb and Sachs, they're going to investigate, and they get to the house, and Lamb is doing some stuff. He's getting into the house, and he hears screaming upstairs. He hears Steve say something like, where are you stupid bitch? And he goes upstairs, investigating, and then
Can I
Keith
ask a question?
shows up.
Can I ask a question before this? Because when he goes up
Sure.
the stairs, there's like plastic and stuff down. Are they remodeling upstairs or something? What's happening?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Maybe. But Lamb sees a mirror, and he shoots it.
Shoots at his own reflection. Yeah.
Bad luck. 7 years.
Once he shoots the mirror, he just goes, "Oh, Lamb, you idiot!" Like he doesn't react like, "Oh, that just gave away my position."
Yeah.
Yeah. It drops his guard completely.
Yep. Keith shows up.
No.
He parks. He parks.
Oh, that's okay. Sorry.
He parks. And then Lamb goes into the room where the mirror is, and he's just like, "Oof, all right, we apprehended the bad guy. It was a mirror image of myself." And then Steve creeps up behind Lamb with a baseball bat and smashes him in the head.
Yeah.
And then hits him again.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sack shows up and shoots Steve.
Mm-hmm.
And Keith then shows up.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Sax, it's me, Keith. Don't freak out. Call an ambulance. Sax is shell-shocked because he just killed a man.
Yeah.
And his best friend, Sheriff Lamb, has been bashed over the head.
Mm-hmm.
Keith grabs the gun away from Sax. And he's like, hey, I need you to go outside. I need you to call an ambulance. And Sax is like, okay.
Do they not keep walkies or anything on them? Like he has to go to the car to make this call?
I think it was to take him away from all the death in the room.
Yeah.
But Keith looks at Lamb, and Lamb is bleeding profusely from the head.
Mm-hmm.
And it is not looking good for Sheriff Lamb.
And he says, I smell bread.
Yeah.
Which is something
Sheriff
people
Lamb says that.
say before they're dying, or like people smell toast for a stroke. So
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought that was a stroke. But damn.
So back to the Valentine's Day scavenger hunt. So,
I mean, dude, Keith is crouched over and he's looking at Lamb. And he's like,
yeah.
Now, this is not good.
This was a wild turn of events because I did not expect Steve to get shot here. I did not expect Steve to like bash Lamb with a baseball bat. It seems like no one's home either.
Right.
So I guess a neighbor called this in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. So anyway, we got Josh. He's at Veronica's place, and they play the DVD that was left. And the coach says,
they are outside, right? They're watching this on her laptop outside. Josh is a wanted man.
Well, he's got his hood up. That's like Assassin's Creed. You know,
I feel like his hood is down, isn't it? Whatever. Also, Veronica was accused of aiding and abetting his escape. The two of them should not be seen together. Banks have cameras. She took him to a bank. Gave him a fake ID. Okay. All right.
But they're watching the DVD. The coach is there like, hey, Josh, I'm responsible for my own death. I had this disease, so I had my first attack with it. And after that first attack, I was like, I'm not going to be doing that. So I'm going to kill myself. And I didn't want to leave the family destitute. Person who helped me wasn't a killer. He was a dear friend. And I'm proud of you, Josh. And the reason why I was so hard on you, because I was prepping you to be the man of the house. And love
score
you guys.
buckets. Score buckets. Hit the jump shot. You got to be the man of the house. Rebound.
And then Veronica's like, hey, there's somebody else in the room. And he looks like you, Josh. And Josh is like, oh, that's not me. That's Coach Yeager. He was a buddy of my dad's from the army or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And Veronica's like, oh, that must have been who Mason saw with your dad. And Josh is like, oh, it's all coming together.
Yeah.
So then Veronica, she's going to the Mars Investigations Office to report all of this stuff. And she heard on the radio that Sheriff Lamb is in the ER. And Keith heard that Josh was caught on video going through the border with a fake ID. And he goes, Veronica, tell me that you didn't help this guy. And Veronica's like, ugh. And Keith's like, God damn it, I will never be able to trust you again. I know I said that before, but I will never be able to trust you.
And then she just flicks the CD-DVD into his face. She's like, watch this.
Like, why don't you have a fucking look at this, Keith, before you start yelling at me? And then they get a phone call. And yeah. So then we have Weevil.
Okay, I just want to go back to this like suicide note because he wasn't supposed to get the rare coins that his dad stole from the war or something. I have no idea why they have rare coins that it his trust for that he can get when he turns 21.
Yeah,
but they made a fake ID so he can get it now. I don't know why the coach decided to do it that night. After the game, after yelling at his son. I know he said, I had an episode and that would never happen again. But when did he have the episode? After he coached the game? Like, the timing of him deciding to do this after getting in a fight with his son, a public one in the locker room, mid-season? Yeah. You wouldn't try to finish the basketball season? Like, I'm like, Coach.
He's leaving the team high and dry.
You're supposed to be a leader of men here. What are you doing?
Well, that's why I had to prep Josh.
Josh, you're going to coach the team, teach your autistic brother how
player coach.
Just, I don't know.
Jackie Moon in it.
It was just one of those things where I was like, I don't know, man.
Yeah. But Keith then is like watching the thing, but he gets a phone call. Then Weevil's there with another maintenance guy at the school, and they're investigating some giant leak.
I think this is where Freddy Krueger died. Like, where they like, what is this basement, man?
They're in a sweaty, dank, drippy basement.
Yeah.
And the guy showed, hey, man, this place is dirty, and we got to figure out where this leak is coming from. Hey, Weevil, go over to that thing and check it out and clean it out. And Weevil's like cleaning it out.
Who reported the leak in the sub basement?
I have no idea, man. They're in the layer of hell where Buffy became a communist or whatever.
When she went to LA,
yeah. But Weevil, while he's cleaning this one thing, a package of something falls, and he opens it up, and it's bloody clothes and bloody gloves, and he's like, "Oh my God." Other guy that I work with, we got to report this to something.
One, I was happy that there were two people there, because I think if Weevil finds this by himself, he's just going to go to jail, because boy, oh boy, do they love putting their fingerprints on everything.
Oh, yeah.
Just hand me that gun that might be a murder weapon. I got it.
Yeah. Why is the gun that might be a murder weapon be in our freezer?
The only time I've seen them care about fingerprints was when Veronica went to Mercer's. A time when fingerprints wouldn't even have been a problem. Mercer wasn't going to dust that place.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, Keith is watching Coach Barry's video, and Veronica tells him, like, he's asking Veronica, well, what's Josh's plan? Is he just going to stay gone until the money is safe? And Veronica's like, yeah, pretty much. It was more important to make sure that the family was taken care of and blah, blah, blah. Then Veronica says, hey, the county commissioner's on the phone. And Keith is like, all right, I'll take it. And he takes the phone call. He's like, uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. All right. First thing in the morning? Okay. Hangs up the phone. Sheriff Lamb is dead.
What an unauspicious way to go.
Yeah.
Richard Grieco took him out. This was unexpected. I mean, I thought they would try to build Lamb up and then have him go away if he was going to die or something. But he was getting shit on this whole episode. He had failed all the way to the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah. No redemptive arc for him. No. I don't know. It's
Take him out of the intro credits.
It's one of those ones where I don't even know how to feel. When that hit, I was like, I don't even know. Like, because I'm not. My thing about Sheriff Lamb is I don't want him to be sheriff and I don't want him to be a cop. It wasn't necessarily, I think he needs to be killed off the show.
Yeah, you're Mel Stoltzen. Yeah, I didn't know. I just wanted him fired.
Yeah, I just wanted him fired. I don't think he should be in a position of power. That's my thing.
I know. You know how we talk about how people in the intro credits aren't in the show. He's in the intro credits and he's dead now. And there are 6 episodes left and he's not going to be in any of them.
Oh, we'll get some crazy flashbacks.
Yeah, you're probably.
I would love first day on the job. Like Keith will look at something that's left on the desk and then he'll remember his first time meeting Sheriff Lamb, and Lamb will have one of the worst wigs we've ever seen. That's my prediction.
Okay.
But other things I wanted to bring up before we get to this last. Well,
we have
let's go to the last bit.
Wallace at the dining hall, and then Veronica sees Logan with Parker, and she's like, "Oh, okay." But then we got the last thing. Mm-hmm. But before we get into that, Vance thoughts.
I just want to think: why did the coach keep his illness a secret from? How did he keep his illness a secret from his wife?
Yep.
How were they able to up the life insurance? Because anybody listening that has ever done the life insurance thing, they check your medical records before they give you life insurance. They don't go, you have a terminal disease. Here's a $5 million policy. Like, they check your medical stuff. You would have to do it together. But why would he keep this a secret and be sneaking around with a neurologist? They already have an autistic kid. Like, it's not like medical issues
it's also
or something
like, how
new.
would the wife know to take out another policy if he's keeping the secret of the disease?
Yeah, did he tell her that? Now she's not in on it? Somehow she's not in on it?
Yeah.
It's a very convoluted thing that comes in the third act of this insurance scam. And the way the dad's doing it is just a problem, because the scene that we have right here where Wallace is with Veronica, he believes, and everyone believes, that Josh is a murderer that killed his dad. That is not better for the family.
Yeah, no.
That $5 million is not going to dry the tears and the stigma of, oh, your son murdered his father, who was the coach of the college team.
Yeah.
Josh's life is fucked because of the dad's decision to pull this thing off. And meanwhile, the assistant coach, who may or may not get fired or whether his buddy, he's just like skating free. He's not taking any of the blame. Josh is living in Mexico now, and he's not going to be able to come back in 3 years because he's still going to be wanted for murder. Or is he going to come back in 3 years and then play the tape, and then the Statue of Liberty
not
extradite? I don't know. We send all of our criminals from Neptune to Mexico. They're not sending their best.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Duncan went to Mexico to get to Australia, where he is now.
I just don't understand why Josh didn't just steal Mason's car and just drive to Mexico.
I don't know. But last scene, we got Mindy at the sheriff's department yet again, and it's revealed that Keith is the new sheriff. There's a new sheriff in town, and he's going to be questioning her now. And he says that the maintenance workers at Hearst College found bloody clothes on campus, and the shirt belongs to Hank Landry. So who's covering for who? Because the clothes belong to Landry, and you're either covering for Landry or he's covering for you. And that's how we end the episode.
So when they're calling her in, did she go back to her house and see the chaos that ensued? Or her kids staying at a hotel or something right now? Because, jeez, man. Yeah. There's a lot that happens at the end of this episode. I mean, I did not expect Steve Batondo to take out Lamb. That was just, I was watching, I was like, oh, this is happening this episode?
Yeah. Wild shit, man.
And yeah, how did Steve's fingerprints get on the Dean's keyboard? Who's bugging Landry's phone? Our lingering questions.
Tim Foyle.
Yeah, I think Tim Foyle's probably bugging it to figure out something to get like ahead, but probably not to solve any crime or anything.
Tim Foyle killed Cyrus O'Dell.
Is Tim Foyle still dating Bonnie after everything?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't
know.
This show was chaos incarnate.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's why at the beginning of this episode, I was like, there's so much information.
It's so wild. But they are just
slightly askew.
And they're definitely rehashing a lot of ideas and just tweaking them.
Yeah, man.
Like, I couldn't believe the fact that now we have this coach who actually committed suicide for insurance money, but we're also investigating the fake suicide, the stage suicide of the dean. I was like, what are we doing, guys? This is so much. And now another kid is fled to Mexico and he's free, but it's so dark. It's such a dark ending. And then we have this little moment where Veronica sees Logan eating with Parker. I'm like, we can't squeeze this in here. Everything's too, it's like Lamb is dead. And then Veronica's like, oh no, my ex-boyfriend is with this sexual assault victim that I'm so happy she's having a good time again.
Yeah.
It's so much.
I mean, this Logan Parker thing.
He's crazy. He's crazy if he starts dating Parker.
Dude, one episode ago, this guy was living in filth. So much so that Dick Casablancas was like, dude, this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
One episode ago.
I don't think you understand, Joe, the power of the Valentine Day scavenger hunt.
You know what? You're right. The power of 11-year-old girl wisdom who's not taking her Prozac.
Wait, what if her prescription ran out? Does she still have Prozac?
Oh, fuck. That coupled with the scavenger hunt is a cure-all. It's an elixir.
Yeah.
And he saw that sweet, sweet sexual assault victim and was like, you know what? You know what she needs? Me, the guy who's everyone who I touch either is killed or shipped off to Vermont. Worse than being killed.
Big things this episode. Sheriff Lamb dies. Mac has sex and loses her virginity.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, because, Beaver.
Yeah, Beaver.
Yeah. Did they have sex? Did she have sex with Beaver?
I think she did. But
it
didn't. He couldn't perform or whatever.
I thought he couldn't perform before, but maybe they start to have sex in the. I can't remember what exactly.
He couldn't perform before, and that's why he was pushing her away.
Yeah.
But then this time he was like, "All right, let's do it." And then because remember she had the whole talk about like, "Hey, it's okay, it's all right."
Yeah. Was that the previous? Was that before the finale, or was that the finale?
That was at the finale.
Okay.
Because then he like goes to the bathroom and steals all of her stuff or whatever.
Or she goes to shower.
Oh yeah. And then because she was like, we can try again. So maybe
why did she go to shower if nothing happened?
Maybe to get ready for round 2 or 1.5. I don't know.
I don't think they ever had sex because he couldn't. That's why she was like, we can try again, right?
Maybe they started.
I don't know.
And then he lost it.
Nah,
I don't know, man.
But yeah, this is a crazy episode.
Crazy.
It was a crazy episode to have Sheriff Lamb die. Keith becomes a new sheriff. Mac has sex with guy we've seen once.
Bronson Pope.
And then we got this whole Logan Parker thing. Like, what are we... Is this going to push Veronica to piss?
I don't think Keith would become the sheriff, right? Wouldn't it promote from within?
I was questioning whether or not he would become the sheriff because he was the one that ran in the runoff.
Yeah,
so because of the runoff, maybe he would be the next one in line. But you would think if we had known any other police officers besides Sachs, there would be someone with aspirations of being sheriff in the police station.
Yeah, I mean, if the president dies, it's not like Joe Biden's going to become president. It's his vice president.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it works in police thing. I think he would also have. Well, he is a former cop. I don't know how that works.
I don't think that he would become sheriff. I feel like it would probably be. Maybe Sachs was offered it and said no, or I don't know.
He might be acting sheriff until they have another election.
Fair. All right.
Yeah, but I would be pissed off if I was hiring Keith for private eye stuff, and then he's like, "Sorry, I can't tell you that your husband or wife are cheating on you or not because I'm sheriff now."
Yeah.
Do you think? Here's a question I do have. Do you think that Sheriff Lamb is? Do you think the death of Sheriff Lamb is on Keith and or Veronica for giving the information to bring Steve Batondo in that led to the rehashing of the search?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, he got called in for a breaking or for a robbery.
Yes, but he went over there because they found his fingerprints on a keyboard, which somehow they didn't find the first time they dusted the keyboards, or I guess they didn't dust, but they wouldn't have dusted the keyboards unless they came in and told him to reopen the case, because Lamb is just assuming that it's a suicide.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I don't think it's on cue. I mean, he was going over to the house anyway to investigate the robbery situation, and Batondo was already a wild card.
Yeah.
So I think that's,
Yeah.
All right. That's Mars Bars, everybody. Next episode is titled Papa's Cabin.
I have no idea.
Yeah, that one really
is it Papa, Poppa?
Papa.
Oh, Papas.
Yeah. Xanax.
I'm going to say this is going to be a murder at a Cracker Barrel-esque establishment.
Oh, okay. I think we're going to go to where Steve Batondo was living.
That's a good one.
And they're going to go there looking for clues, and they're going to get a clue about something at Batondo's meth cabin.
He sold the Dean a keyboard. That's why his fingerprints were on it.
Yeah. You laugh, but this show, I can never never predict.
No, yeah.
But that is a wrap, everybody. Thanks for listening to this episode on Mars Bars. Hop on Discord, let us know what you thought. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/boyswatchingbuffy. Instagram is @boyswatchingbuffy. TikTok is @boyswatchingbuffy. boyswatchingbuffy at Gmail. If you want to shout out Apple Podcast 5-star rating and review, Spotify 5-star rating, screenshot it, send it into us. Amazon wish list. We still got merch.
Yeah.
It's from the Buffy podcast, but it still exists and you can still get it.
Yeah.
And yeah, stay tuned next time for when we talk about Papa's Cabin.
Can I get you anything, honey?
Oh, a couple cartons of smokes. What, Dad? It's currency on the inside.
Seltzer Kings.
Podcasts.